Rightio. Pop your name in the chat and we'll get started. All right, Harris, good to see you. Good to see you. Wait on the line just for a second. Right, okay, let's roll. So what I want to do is first challenge you on a few definitions. What we're going to do is just recap, hopefully for the last time, because I'm damn sick of quadratics at this point, to see whether you fully understand what quadratics are, what you can do with them, etc. So questions will start very easy. All of them, I want you to type in the chat box for the answers, all right? So question number one, can you factorize for me x squared plus 5x plus 6? Now, by this point, you should be able to do that from memory, let alone anything else, all right? So what is your job here? You need to factorize that and put that in the chat box for me, all right? A very, very quick one to start. So factorize x squared plus 5x plus 6. So the question I'm asking you to do is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Correct, x plus 3x plus 2. Good job. Naman, do you agree? What's your thought, Naman? I'm waiting on your kind of response on this one. Yeah, okay, cool. So what I'm asking you to do now is use what you factorized to solve x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. All right, so I'm asking you to, I will just change the camera so you can see that a lot better. A little bit here, right? I changed the plastic on this morning, that's why. This is a bit, yeah, that's much, much better. So you factorized it. Now, can you use the factorization to help you solve the equation x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0? Okay, so that's your next question. So the question is, solve x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. So what I'm waiting for you is the solution on x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. And it's connected to the fact you factorized it earlier. If you can't do it, you need to pop something in the chat box. To be fair, if you can't do it, I'll be quite surprised, but there we go. I've been surprised before. Wouldn't be a good surprise though. Yep, so you've got -2 as a potential solution, that's correct. And then the second one. Beautiful. Harris seems to you really got the idea of this. Well done. Nice one. Okay, cool. Slightly harder one now in terms of factorization. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to give you harder factorization in a minute. Can you tell me where this equation cuts the y-axis? Okay. Can you tell me where that cuts the y-axis? Cuts it at 14. Excellent. So the next question is, where does it cut the x-axis? That maths language for that is called the x-intercept, and there might be more than one. Okay. So do you have a method of finding where it cuts the x-axis? So where does it cut the x-axis? So -2 and -7. Well done. Yeah, you presumably have factorized or solved. Brilliant. We're making some progress there. That's good. Now, I want you to factorize for me 2x squared plus what? 2x plus 1. All right? So make that 3. Okay, so can you factorize that one for me? X plus 1, 2x plus 1. Let's do it and see if you're right. The split was done correctly. 2x, yes, perfect. Well done, Harris. Good job. Good job. Making some progress here. That's pretty good. Well done. Really happy with that. Now, can I ask you to use that information to solve the equation 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 equals 0? Okay, so we'll just solve that equation there. Minus 1.5, that's right. That's absolutely right. Good job. Right, cool. That's enough for factorization. Now, the last things you need to do is show me that you can use the quadratic formula and you can complete the square. And once you've done that, we'll move on to simultaneous equations, which will be a relief to everyone, I'm sure. So can I ask you to use the formula to give the answer to this equation to 2 decimal places? Okay, so I want the answers to this equation to 2 decimal places. The formula you're going to use is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so that's your formula, and there's up to 2 solutions. Okay, so b squared ac, yeah, all right. Right, I'm gonna have to do that one myself, aren't I? Really? I hope I've got a bloody calculator. Um, I'll do it by formula. Minus b. Good. Let's just do it. So minus 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 4 over 2h is 2. So the worst case scenario is you get minus 6. Well, root 32 is going to be what, about 5 and a bit. Yeah, all right. All right, I'll give you that one. And then the other one, yeah, I'm willing to concede that. Numan, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. As long as he's done the rounding out properly, we're okay, I think. Harris, if you disagree, let me know. It won't be by much. I mean, if you're wrong, Numan, it won't be by much. It'll be by a little bit. Okay, what's next? What is next? Let's complete the square sum. So can you complete the square on... Let's make one that works. Keep it even the first time. 12x plus 32. Okay, so you can just complete the square from that one for me. All right? So that's complete the square. You've got it written down there. Doing well so far, much better than before. Either you've been doing some work or someone's been teaching, and I don't really mind which, but you know, big improvement, and I'm happy. Keep that going. Okay, so 6 and 2 is the claim. Okay, let's have a look. If we do this inside the bracket, it would go, should go x plus 6 squared minus 36 on 2. That should be minus 4. So it should look like that. So it looks like completing the square is going to be a bit one we're going to have to practice. Fair enough. Let's do that. So let me do that question again properly. All right. So first thing you do is you half what's there. So it goes x plus 6. Yeah. You square it, put the square on the whole thing, and take away the square. So 6 squared is 36 plus 32. So you're going to get x plus 6 squared minus 4. Very simple. I hope you agree. Yeah, that's how that's done. So we're going to do a bit of practice on that. I'm going to set you 3 to do. Pop them in the chat box once you've done them. There's 4x and 1. That's, say, let's do a minus 1. Minus 8x plus 2. And then the last one we're going to do is going to be an odd number, because that's what I wanted to do anyway, 7x plus 5. So can you complete the square on all of those 3? As you do each one, type it in the chat box. Don't do all 3 typing them at once. Do them one at a time. So do the first one, type it in. Do the second one, type it in. Do the third one, type it in. All right? X squared. Yep. First one done right. Well done, Harris. Well done. X minus 4 squared plus 10. No. No. X minus 4 squared minus 14 on the other hand is correct. Harris right, Numan wrong. Numan, I'll show you why you're wrong. I'll do that second one. I'll do it here. So half that, you get x minus 4 squared. But remember, you're taking away the square, so that's taking away 16. 6 minus 16 add 2 is minus 14. So Harris has got it right, and that's why he's got it right. Okay? So Numan, try and get that last one right. That one's, you're going to have to do fractions with it. All right? So second one, the reason why you were wrong is when you get the square of the number, you've got positive 16, but obviously take it away 16, minus 16. Minus 16 add 2, minus 14. All right? So right, okay, that last one. Let's have a look. So yeah, definitely 7 over 2 is done, right? Leaves you 49 over 4, yes. Minus 20 over 4, yeah, I see that. No, Harris, that looks good. That looks good. Numan, decimal is correct. Yep. 29. Yeah, I mean, fractions over decimals. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Fractions over decimals. But other than that, perfect. That's good. Right, the last thing we're going to do is what happens when you have to complete the square in order to do stuff. So can I ask you to solve for me? You actually first complete the square on this. So we've got 3x squared plus 12x minus 1. So complete the square on that guy. And then use that to solve 3x squared plus 12x minus 1 equals 0. And, so this is your very last question now, find the turning point. So there's 3 parts. So just think of this as like your final exam question on all of this. Complete the square on this guy. Once you've done that, use the completing the square to solve for this. Once you've done this, you can also find the turning point. So this question is related to that. All right. And don't worry if you get stuck on this one, because this is by far the hardest one. Right, let's have a look at that one. So factorize that x squared, that's fine, times by 3. Okay, let's have a go at that. So you'd go 3, first of all, you factorize out, don't you? 4x minus 1, yep, agreed. That's going to go 3x plus 2 all squared negative. So what's that going to be? It will be 4, wouldn't it? So negative 12 in the end. Yeah, good job. 0.08 or 4.08 from solving. Okay, let's see if that's true. You get 1, you get plus or minus 12 root. 1 minus plus minus root. So it gets root 11, doesn't it? Possible. Let's have a go. So we got to 3x plus 4 all squared. Oh, plus 4, what are we talking about? That's factorized, isn't it? Yeah. That's x plus 2 all squared, isn't it? Minus 4, so minus 12 minus 1 equals 0. So you've got x plus 2 all squared. It's going to go, what, negative 13 over 3 square rooted. That's really plus 13. 13 over 3. So 13 over 3 is 3 and a bit. Root 3 of that is going to be 4, isn't it? Root 4, 2 and a bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so the last thing to do is find the turning point. Turning point is really easy to do. You're nearly there. Minus 2 and minus 13 turning point. Yeah, correct. Okay, we're done. Right, next thing. Got our 15 minutes left. I'm going to teach you your next topic. So start a new page. Simultaneous equations. All right, and that's your next big topic. I'm glad we've finished with bloody quadratics. So if you write that down as your heading, and then I'm going to start explaining what they are and when you're going to have to deal with them and why we'd have to deal with them. Okay, so as soon as you've finished copying the title, can you just pop something in the chat box so I know you're ready? Then I'll start teaching. Ready? Okay, cool. Nimon, ready? Right, cool. So simultaneous equations, what are they? They are, well, let's just start from the beginning. Suppose you had something like this, x plus 4 equals 10, yeah? You can easily solve that by finding out what x was, yeah? You take away 4 from both sides, you've got x equals 6. Very simple. But if I asked you to do x plus y equals 10, you wouldn't be able to solve that. You won't be able to find the one answer for x, because you could say, let's pretend that y is 7. If y is 7, then x is 3. Yeah? If y is 5, then x is 5. Yeah? So you can't solve an equation with 2 letters in it with only one equation. You can't get one final answer. So the rule is that however many letters you've got to find, that's how many equations you need to be able to solve that. So if I wanted to solve an equation with x and y, I'd need this guy there would need to be another equation. So 2x plus y equals 12. All right, so that's an example. Those are simultaneous equations. So the rule is, if you're asked to find x, one equation's fine. But if you're asked to find x and y at the same time, you're going to need 2 equations. For future reference, which, I mean, it'll be a long, long time, probably 5 or 6 years before you'd ever need to know this. If it was x, y, z, you need 3 equations. Yeah? So to solve one equation, one letter in one equation, fine. 2 letters needs 2 equations. So your number of letters equals the number of equations you need to solve them. All right? So if I said solve an equation with x, y, z, and a in it, you'd need 4 separate equations to be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to do it with one equation. All right? The first thing I'm going to do is show you the most common method of doing it, which is cancelling a letter. All right? So I've told you need 2 equations. Let me show you how you can do that. And I'm going to, so here, this was going to be your example, and we are going to solve, okay? The key word here is solve the simultaneous equations. Let's solve the simultaneous equations, 2x plus y and x plus y. So 2x plus y equals 12 and x plus y equals 10. So that's what we're going to do in just a second. So what have you learned so far, just quickly? You've learned that simultaneous equations are when you've got more than one equation at the same time. Why do we do this? Because if you're trying to find more than one letter in an equation, you need more than one equation, all right? And the next thing you're going to do now is you're going to get a demonstration of how to solve these equations. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to be doing for the last 10 minutes of this. And it's also what your homework's going to be about today, all right? So let's move on. So the equations we just had on the board a moment ago were 2x plus y equals 12 and x plus y equals 10. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel one of the letters, all right? I'm going to cancel one of the letters by taking one equation away from the other, all right? So 2x minus x equals 1x, y minus y equals 0, so I'm not going to write anything, and 12 minus 10 equals 2. Now, before, you had an equation with 2 letters in it. Now you've got an equation with 1 letter in it. So it's okay. We know that x equals 2. If we know x equals 2, we can pick either of these 2 equations and work out what y is. I'm going to use the top one, just because it's at the top, not because it's at 2 times 2 is 4. 2x, 2 times 2 is 4, plus y equals 12. So therefore, y equals 8. The equation is solved. All right? So that's an example of how you can do simultaneous equations. Now, that's probably the most easy example you'll ever see in your life. All right? So we're going to do a whole bunch more examples. But let's recap the method quickly. We had 2 equations. We took one away from the other to cancel a letter. Yeah? Cancelling a letter makes it stop being about 2 letters in one equation. It starts becoming 1 letter in one equation. When we get to that point, we can solve it nicely. So if we know x equals 2, we can find out what y is. Incidentally, if you put that 2 back into this equation instead of that one, 2 plus y equals 10, y equals 8. It doesn't matter which equation of the 2 you put it in. It will always work nicely. All right? It will never be the case that it makes a difference which equation you put in, as long as you've done it right. So once you finish copying out that example, put some notes on it. Remember, like, next lesson, we're going to come back to this. You need to understand the things that I've said to you, right? If that means you have to go back and watch the video, do so, right? We don't really want like a 7-week project on simultaneous equations because it's not that big of a topic. Also, keep quadratics in mind because later on we'll do quadratics simultaneous with quadratics in it, which is a whole bunch of stuff that you already know being used in a different context, right? So just heads up on how it's going to work. With a bit of luck, lockdown might be over reasonably short. I don't know. I mean, I've had corona, so I'm safe. I'll talk to your mum about when we'll come back and start doing these properly face to face. I want to get, before I come back to you guys, I want to take the antibody test. So just to make sure that there's no way I can infect you. But once that's done, I think we should just start this up again. So I'm like traveling like to Green Street and stuff. There's no problem anymore. I mean, I'm not coughing or anything. So as long as I've had it and it's safe, I'll come back. All right. So have you finished copying? Yep. And the master is finished copying. Let's do another example. Okay, so there's going to be another example. So here we've got 3x plus 2y equals 15. And we've got x minus 2y equals, I don't know, 9. Yeah? So we've got two equations here. We want to kill a letter. And this time, the way we're going to kill a letter is add the two equations. Add them. Why? Because 2y plus minus just means minus. So 2y minus 2y is 0. So I add these together. I get 3x plus 1x is 4x. 2y plus minus 2y is just 2y minus 2y equals 0. And then we've got 15 plus 9 is 24. So we've now got 4x equals 24. Obviously, 4 times something is 24, x equals 6. All right? Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to take this and put it into one of the equations. I'll put it in the top one just because it's easiest to understand if I do it that way. So I'll put x is 6 into there. 3 times 6 plus 2y equals 15. All right, what's 3 times 6? That's 18. 18 plus 2y equals 15. All right? If 18 plus 2y equals 15, then 2y equals minus 3, just taking away 15 from both sides. Divide both sides by 2, you get that y is 3/2 or minus 1.5. Yeah? So that was a slightly harder example, but the idea is the same thing. You want to kill one of the letters, so you add and subtract as you see fit. There are other methods to simultaneous equations. There are harder methods. We're going to start with just with easy ones to kick off with. All right? So that's your second example. Copy it down again for me, line by line. Write down why you did the things we did. All right? If you don't understand, put it in the chat. I'm going to ask you to do one question after this. That will be the last question for today. And then I'll set you some homework. You're on half term. I know you've got Eid coming, so you're going to be busy for a couple of days. Are you guys celebrating Eid on Monday? Or are you going to do Sunday? I think most people are doing Sunday. But I know there's differences in opinion on that one. Is it Sunday or Monday for you? I'm kind of curious. Some people are celebrating today because they saw it in Somalia, I think, the moon, and some other Horn of Africa countries. So I saw it on Twitter. You don't know yet. Fair shout, fair shout. The thing is, as far as I understand, Saudi have announced that it's going to be today. I mean, like, tomorrow, I mean. But they haven't seen it yet, so... I mean, how long could Ramadan go on? 31 days is probably the longest, so the worst it could be is Monday. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Ramadan, I'm just saying, the furthest out it could be is Monday. It's quite interesting, isn't it? I can't see how you'd make it longer than Monday. I can't see it being Tuesday. Wouldn't make sense. 30 days max. Well, this is day 30, isn't it? So Sunday it's got to be then, logically. Because it's lunar months as well. Lunar months don't stretch much beyond 28, to be fair, but, 29 for us. Okay, so yes, you might be on Monday then. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, so definitely do your work after read. I'm not here to spoil your read with bloody maths homework. Have fun, enjoy it as best as you can. I mean, people start, yeah, they do. I get that. What was I going to say to you? Yeah, so I hope you enjoy that. I hope you have a lot of fun. As far as you can. Right, have you got this copied down yet, boss? I want you to do one for me. I'm going to make it really easy. Okay, beautiful. Right, So this is a really, really simple one to finish you off with. You're going to do this one. Tell me what X and Y are. I'll make this super, super simple. There you go. Okay. So if you can polish that off, tell me what X and Y are. While you're doing that, I'm just going to pop your homework here. It'll be 3 questions only. Whatever you did to make your progress improve by that much, keep doing it. It's so much better this time. Like, I don't feel like I was wasting my time teaching, which I was starting to worry about with the other ones, because I was teaching you stuff and it was like each lesson we're coming back and we're doing the same thing over and over again. It was so annoying. Yeah, I did think there'll be some kind of intervention there. I mean, it's good. I'm happy because at least you'd half a chance of, you know, achieving something now. Right, so this last one, I hope you can see. You can't, can you? Right, so the one you're doing is this guy, and the other one, these 3 are your homework ones, all right? And they should all kind of die relatively easily. Yeah, that should be easy. So this is the one I want you to do. Those 3 are your homework. Yeah, bless her. Appreciate that. Thank her. I'll talk to her and thank her. Are you struggling with this one? So we've got 2x plus y equals 10, x plus y equals 6. If you're struggling, pop something in the chat box. X equals 4, yep, that's right. That's absolutely right, correct. So if x equals 4, what does y logically have to be? Got that right so far? Think about that one, because you've got 2x plus y equals 10, yeah? If x is 4, what is 2x? Yeah? If x equals 4, what is 2x? Yeah, it is 2. Well done, y is 2. Brilliant, yeah? I don't know what's up with Harris. But yeah, well done. Good job, Nimon. It's 2. Absolutely, it is indeed 2. You got it right. Cool. So you've got these 3 to try. They're all just like this. I mean, one of them you're going to have to add instead of take away, but it's the same idea. Can I change one of them though? Just looking at it. Did I make that 20? If I make that 18, your life just gets that a little bit easier. So just notice I've changed that number to 18. I'm just looking at the numbers. It will just come out nicer. The other one works fine. This guy dabbing over there. I've actually got my PS4 out. Next lesson, I'll start live streaming some games for you. What should we do? I don't even know. I mean, to be fair, I reckon hopefully if this lockdown ends soon, we can stop doing this. I don't think you learn much. I mean, bless Sunila for teaching, but it's hard to teach over YouTube. I think you've done all right today. Good job. I mean, but in the long run, I'm ready to come back. As long as I'm not going to bring any sickness to your house, I'm going to come back. I'm bored with this now. I mean, it's nice to get a few more views on my channel, but you know what? 4 views or 5. I don't know who the random people are that just turn up for this. Like, there's 2 of you, obviously, that makes sense, yeah? Who are the other 2 people that watch? There's always like 5 people somehow, 4 or 5 people at some points. Like, is it my year 13s that miss me? Is it year 12s that are looking to see what's going down? Is it Cormas? I don't know who these people are. Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to cut it short there. So you guys enjoy. Have a happy Eid Mubarak. Enjoy everything for that one. And I'll catch you next week, I guess. Take care, yeah? Look after yourself.